So I thought I'd give you an update about my nonfiction 30 plus thousand words book that I've just written. It's taken me more like 3 months. Because I was doing this with ChatGPT, I kept on getting more and more ideas of great content to put into the book, and it's live on Amazon. And there'll be a link in the description if you want to buy it. So what's the book about? Well, I went on to ChatGPT and I asked it, can you give me some ideas of books that I could write for a Gen X man? I've noticed through using social media that people, if they're in the same demographic, will tend to have some sort of connection with you. And one of the ideas that came up about this was a book about how to enhance the creative potential of a Gen X man. As soon as I heard this idea, I thought this would be a great idea for a book. I'm a creative person. I really think it can help people. And the point is, it can help all sorts of people, men, women, young, old, middle-aged, whatever. And after researching and looking into it, I found that just to write a general book about enhancing someone's creative potential was a great idea. And I believe that the keywords I've used in the title are not that popular keywords. Maybe you'd get 100 searches on Google for one of them a month. That's not a very good keyword, but then more importantly, I believe I could compete on these keywords, as I think I will write a good book, and I'll also get a good few positive reviews, hopefully in the next few days. Another keyword I put in the title and another point of the book is artificial intelligence. As you know, I am using artificial intelligence to help me write the book. More on that later. I'm using it to get ideas. I'm using it for the cover design and for some illustrations within the book. And also it's a problem. I mean, artificial intelligence and automation could take away our jobs in the future. How do we compete in the future? Well, we're going to have to reinvent ourselves and come up with creative solutions. So it's a book about enhancing your creativity in the AI age. And I used AI to help me to write it. Now, this was just as prompts and ideas. I never used ChatGPT for the content, really, although I did a little bit, and I'll come on to that as well. But first of all, I asked ChatGPT to help me plan the book. So it came up with suggestions of chapters and subheadings. I didn't find these very useful. I think towards the end of it, I probably changed about 60 to 70% of the chapters that ChatGPT suggested. But then once I got into writing the chapters, I asked ChatGPT to come up with plans of the individual chapters and then asked it questions about its answers within the subtopics of the individual chapters. And that's how I really found the help coming to me. It was when I asked questions about the answers and questions about the answers about the questions about the answers, if that makes any sense. Really drilling down into the subject. That's how I came up with other material and better ideas than I would have thought of it myself. An example of this is just the creative disciplines. I asked for creative disciplines. I just thought about photography, music, writing, art, drawing, painting, sort of obvious ones. And of course, there are so many disciplines that ChatGPT came up with that I thought were also really important. And quite obvious ones like mind mapping, collage, and that sort of thing, which I hadn't thought of, but are really important if you want to enhance your creativity. Another theme that came up was journaling. The journaling is very important for creativity, and it's something that I would advise anyone to do if they had some sort of creative vision and they want to get something done creatively. It's a great idea to journal about it. So in the course of writing this book, I thought, well, I'll have to create a low-content paperback book, a creative journal, to be used in conjunction with this book. Now, if people didn't want to read the journal and only wanted to read the book and vice versa, well, that's fine. But I do a lot of journals anyway. I created a lot of paperback journals for Amazon anyway. So I thought, well, that would be a very obvious and easy thing for me to do. So I went to work on the journal. And of course, I asked ChatGPT for more ideas about prompts for creative disciplines. And these came out, they were so good. I had to use them, put them back into the actual nonfiction book because the content was just too good not to use. And then I use other prompts for the creative journal as well. But it's an example of how pursuing the themes that ChatGPT comes up with during your research, you can come up with yet more content, yet more interesting avenues that you wouldn't have otherwise thought about. I think I probably thought I'd write a 20,000 word book. Back in the old days when I started writing Kindles, I think that would have been about 10 years ago. I was happy if I managed 10,000 words. But this one, it came 30,000 words, and that wasn't difficult. That was after cutting a lot. And that gives you some idea of the breadth and the depth of ideas that came from ChatGPT. And another way it helped me right at the end, and I had to upgrade to ChatGPT Plus, which gives you the 4.0 version as opposed to the 3.5 version. That was really useful because of the plugins. I used a plugin called AskYourPDF, and with that plugin, you can upload a huge PDF of tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of words, and ChatGPT can then analyze and answer questions on that PDF within seconds. So I downloaded a PDF of the book. I was writing the book on Google Drive, on a Google Doc. I can download a Word document, I can download a PDF or whatever, and then uploaded it at AskYourPDF, and then asked the Plus version of ChatGPT to write me a conclusion and write me a sales page. And after several prompts, I got it to do a good job of that. The conclusion had some paragraphs in it that I thought were absolutely excellent, and I used almost word for word. So I say that I wrote the book myself. Maybe I wrote 85% to 90% of the book myself. Definitely where it helped me was the conclusion to the whole book. And if you're a writer, I mean, I don't know if I'm alone in saying this, but I hate writing conclusions. I've always found that really difficult. You've written the whole blooming book, brain's fried by that point. You don't want to have to do any more work and write a conclusion, and they tend to be very boring, the conclusions that I have written for all my other books. Also, another job I got AskYourPDF to do for me through ChatGPT 4 was to write actionable takeaway bullet points for each chapter. So it was the conclusion for each chapter as well as the conclusion for the whole book. And then I got it to write the sales page. Again, it's another job that ChatGPT is really good at that I'm really bad at. I really suck at sales pages. I got it to do several sales pages. You know, I didn't just ask it to do one. I want it more salesy, less salesy. Can you give more examples? And then I cobbled together a sales page from all the different 4 or 5 options it gave me. Anyway, so basically I've written a 30,000 word book. I'm absolutely delighted it's finally published. It's a project that's gone on much longer than I would have hoped, about 3 months. And now I'm looking back on it, I think, this is great. This is great. In a couple of weeks, I'll receive the paperback version and I'll have that absolute joy, that wonderful feeling of accomplishment when I have the book in my hands. The work hasn't finished, by the way. Now comes the promotion, and I'm also improving the text of the Kindle version and the paperback book version as I see little errors in it, and I want to make it absolutely perfect. The paperback and the Kindle both have illustrations in them. I'm really happy the way it's come out so far. Really happy about the cover so far, but we'll see what I think when I actually get it in my hand. Another thing to say about the 30,000 words is that will make it an audio book of over 3 hours, which is a nice and long enough duration for an audio book. So hopefully it will sell as an audio book. My name's Rob Cohen. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time.